Testing, testing, testing. Y'all forgive me. Coming on here. Coming on here. Y'all forgive me. Want to pop on just because this month I've been real terrible just with my schedule. As some of y'all know, uh, some of you might not know, I put the link in the description to the study, and I really appreciate the support from the Blessed Tribe and those of you who have subscribed to that channel because I haven't launched it yet. Kind of getting a bunch of episodes together, but gonna be launching, and I really appreciate that. Those of you who see the link to the description in the description box and subscribe to it, because it helped me. I need to build a little bit of an audience over there, so the people who are so graciously giving me their time to sit down and study their greatness, so that it's not a waste of their time, so that they have some people that see their story. In the beginning, I may have to post it on both pages, on this page and that page, but I would like to, build that page up, and hopefully I can get closer to about 10,000 subscribers over there, so that it's, worthwhile for the people I'm interviewing when we launch it. So if you see this video later, look in the description box and you'll see the link to the study, and you can subscribe over there, because of course, the more subscribers I get over there, then the bigger names and the more interesting people, the busier people, the people who, which everybody I've already talked to is super, super busy, but I have a personal relationship with them. But it'll, the people who are unique as well, but I don't have a real close personal relationship, if they see that some people gonna see it and that they can help some people, then they may be more prone to being on there. So I'm gonna try to make that right there happen here soon. Hopefully by June we'll be ready to launch. Let me see here. Now this a Q&A. Make sure y'all put hashtag Q or Q hashtag, but hashtag Q before your question, so I can easily identify it. And we're gonna go through. My wife just left to take her mama a piece of my son's birthday cake. His birthday was yesterday. Thank you for the person who sent a cash app to me for my son. He made sure he got it now. I was like, son, you don't need that, do you? He was like, what? Like, send my money. So I really appreciate that love. It just it's mind boggling to my wife and to my kids when they have a birthday and somebody who support me bless them, because they're like, oh wow, so the people, so they actually care about us missing you and you giving them our time, like they care. That means something to them. So I have to say thank you, because it mean a lot. Like they really be blown away by that. Kid's father broke off our engagement and dove right into another relationship. I let it be and moved on, and that was over a year ago. Now I'm seeing a guy and he's upset and stopped supporting the kids. Well, you got to just say good riddance. You got to say good riddance. And you got to understand that that's his energy. That's what he's putting into the world, and that's what's going to come back to him. What go around, come around. So the way he moving, the way he acting, his mindset, and not in a literal sense, but saying that mindset is gonna block his blessings. That mindset is gonna make him bitter. It's gonna make him nasty. It's gonna make him rude, and ain't nothing gonna go right in his life because of where he's operating from. So you got to understand that. And when somebody remove themselves from your life, you got to appreciate that, because you don't want the lightning that strike them to bounce off and hit you. And if you standing too close to somebody that gets struck by lightning, you're gonna get hit too. And so when somebody who is toxic or whatever does something to remove themselves, you got to be like, you know what? Good riddance. You sparing me. To the new members, Chastity, God bless you now. Kimberly, God bless you now. Now to be in the chat and on here like this, you got to be in the Blessed Tribe or the Blessed Business Tribe. I really appreciate y'all. And to my Patreon folks, now with the Patreon, we got us in May, we got us a thing coming up in May for a group, small group, where we're gonna be in a house together having some conversations, deep conversation that'll be recorded, for YouTube. And but that's just the Patreon supporters got invited to that, so that's a little exclusive. And then for Blessed Tribe and Patreon, it's a group of us going to Bali next year. So I say that to say it's a couple benefits to our little group. So don't y'all think we just doing this to do it. I'm 21, he's 27. What the night is? Wednesday. Y'all give me 1 second, real quick here. Okay, it's a little okay. Do this here. All right. Y'all gotta forgive me. Posting this here on my Instagram real quick, just because I forgot to let folks know. We got us y'all know I go live over here and not over there. I'm 21, he's 27. Met on vacay. Okay, y'all got vacation money? Hooked up out there. He's from same city, so he invited me to party with his friends. Don't know if he likes me. Well, nah, for one, it looked like I done seen your name before. Feel like I done seen your name before. So now you 21. That's what it is. So I'm gonna give you some grace, but you ought to know better than that. You ought to know better than meeting up with a man and hooking up with a man on vacation. Hooked up out there. Cause now hooked up what hooked up mean? You ought to know better than that. Now, he like you somewhat now because of the crazy stuff that we see happen and go viral on social media of how people mad and then they end up being together. Men starting to believe more in that crazy stuff. Like, oh, this woman I hooked up with on vacation could become my wife, and then we could go viral one day about telling how we met. And some men will be with a woman just for the virality possibility, because fame and the money that'll come with that fame means so much to some men that they'll be with you just for that. So you kind of got to tread lightly and make sure. Tony, good evening. I didn't receive a notification to pay for the trip. I saw your post of it selling out and noticed there's a wait list. How can I get the information to join the list? Well, if you saw that there's a wait list, then that's where you would join. That's where you could join the wait list. Now, the notification to sign up for the trip, the thing with those is it's kind of like you either got, if you're in the Blessed Tribe, it's almost like you got to go and set your notifications on YouTube to notify you whenever I post a message on the community page to the Blessed Tribe, which I still don't know if it'll work, but people do get them. So it does work because, as you know, it sold out in less than an hour. And so, but you may have to set your notifications, and it might be like up under my video. It might have a little bell somewhere where you set the notifications, and maybe, on the membership page, it might have where you set the notification. So that way, if I announce something like, hey, you got this conference, because what we doing, I'm going to do some conferences. I'm planning a conference later this year. The tickets for the conference may only be 100 tickets, but it'll be a high ticket thing because it's only 100 tickets. But I'm gonna be doing different themes, different conferences. So some for this group, some for that group, and the Blessed Tribe and the Patreon to get notified first before the public is notified. The public will only be notified if there's extra tickets. Same with some of my book releases. So you just kind of got to turn on the notifications. Went on a first date with a guy. Then he came with me to my place to watch a movie. He went for a kiss. I told him it was too fast. At the end, he went home. Now he wants a second date. He is consistent with messaging, calling daily. Everything is going as normal. Quilla, God bless you. Thank you for joining. Everything going normal. That's all normal right there. Now your mistake is going on a first date, and then he came with me to my place to watch a movie. If you had not talked to him at least 10 hours before that first date, then you made a huge mistake. Because that could have been Ted Bundy's nephew. And you could be in a freezer right now in pieces. So you never ever in your life invite a man into your place, to your place. Y'all listen to me now. Never invite a man to your place in under 10 dates. You need to do 10 dates, really public dates. I said 10 hours just to make an exception, but because she already did it. But you need 10 public dates. A date should be 2 hours to 4 hours. 2 to 4 hours should make a date. The reason why it's 2 hours, because you need enough time to get to know the person, talk to the person, and feel the person out, but no more than 4 hours, because you don't want to be sprung head over heels or looking dehydrated. So you want to have a life, have a time period, and be able to, okay, yeah, it's been a great night. I'm going to let you go and go on about your business. So 10 dates, 2 to 4 hours before you invite somebody in your house, because you don't know who you're inviting. Tilda, welcome to the Blessed Tribe. Lakeisha, welcome to the Blessed Tribe. I be missing those. I'm trying to catch those when I'm on here. All right, could you talk about falling from grace and God turning his back on you? Sis, I can't really talk about that in the sense of I'm not a theologian, in the sense of me understanding that. I don't believe God turned his back on you in the sense of like you're excommunicated, and I think it's more so in our mind, and it's a trick of the enemy. And it's not God turning his back on us, it's us turning our back on God. Because God don't fail you, God don't quit on you, we quit on him. And so, but if we tell ourselves that he has turned his back, then we can't really receive the favor or the blessings because we don't believe. And you can't receive if you don't believe, because according to your faith will be your blessings. And so that's a trick of the enemy to make you feel like you've been forsaken by God, but God is there all the time. So you have to understand that. Don't be deceived. Is it necessary for a man to know the names and faces of people you've dated? My boyfriend says he wants to know so he doesn't befriend them. Well, for one, it's like, well, he just walking around befriending people. They're walking around, hey, man, you got a friend? What's going on with you, man? You got a friend? Hey, I want to be friends. It's like, my goodness. Now, if y'all live in Podunk, Dunkerville, then yes, it's necessary. It may be necessary. And that is a real concern now. That is a real concern. And not just for him, but for you. Because if it's a real small town, or if it's a town where you can cross paths, yes, as men, we do meet men at the gym. We meet men at the basketball court. We meet men at networking events. And it will be very awkward if a man go meet a man, they link up, they talking, they chatting, and then they say, hey, man, let's get up, man, and have a drink, or let's go over here to the cigar lounge and just kick back and talk business. And that's the man that you done dated. So, I mean, hopefully it's only like one, like how many exes you got out there, sister? Like, my goodness. You got a rap sheet? Like, well, here go Jerome, and then here go Jerry, then here go Larry. And this what he looked like. So, I'm torn on that one because a real super duper confident man could be like, okay, and he might be cool with the guy, might know the guy, and then you tell him, hey, me and that guy used to date, and then he might get his distance, or he might be like, okay, well, that's cool. You over him, he over you. All right. Now that right there is like 0.001% of men that'll do that, but you know, it ain't no that's a personal choice on that. And honestly, I feel like most men will ask that question. Get closer to God. Since I believe the main way would be to read your Bible. Read your Bible. And if you can't read, then have it read to you. Like on the Bible app, I always hit the audio and just let it read to me. And I'm listening to it like that because I don't like reading, but I don't mind listening. Because the Bible is basically explaining the attributes of God, like who God is, how he move, what he do, what he approve, what he doesn't approve, and that's how you get to know God. And then with your prayer, just add on to that. My husband talks negative about me and lies on me to other people. Is this something that can genuinely be fixed? No, no, that's sister, that right there, that's rooted and grounded in him. Unless God do something to him, like he really had this like come to Jesus moment, like something that really shake him to his core, is not something that you could do. But that's pretty. And one thing we do as husbands, and I think women do it too, is we kind of all talk bad about our partner to somebody at some time. It's human nature to have a gripe session to go and complain, but you got to address that, and you got to figure out how can you tell this to this person. Like, how can you express this to this person? So you may say, hey, listen, when you talk bad about me to other people, and then they fall out with me, they don't like me, but then you want to be cool with them, and we got a family reunion, we got a party, and we want to invite them. Now it make it awkward, and then because they're being awkward, now my family and friends gonna get awkward, and then they're not gonna like them, and now this causes tension, and now we can't come together. So what's the use of being married if we're gonna create enemies out of each other, families and friends? And if that don't work, it may have to be explained in another way. And so knowing your husband, you got to understand how he learns, how he understands, how he comprehends things, and put it in that way. Just like when a school teacher can't teach every student the same way, you got to learn how is this going to speak to him. For me, it was the shoe on the other foot thing that helped me see things. When my wife would say, hey, if I did what you did, how would you feel? And when I seen that, I'm like, whoa, hold on now, you getting tricky now. You weren't supposed to do that now. You weren't supposed to let me see what it look and feel like. But that right there got me together. And so you have to understand how he communicates and how he understands things. I'm over 35 with children. Can I stay uplifted in dating with the foolish advice going on nowadays? Now, I posted a video a little while ago that y'all have to go back and watch later when you get a chance. And it was talking about that, where one of the guys, one of the men from the dark, was telling women that if you over 35, you got to share a man. You need to be okay sharing men. And that is very, very dumb. It's very dumb. And you have to know what's for you. So whatever you believe is for you, that's for you. And can't nobody stop that. Can't nobody block that. Can't nobody change that. But if you allow yourself even a little bit to believe the ignorance and the foolish that's being spewed online, then you're going to get exactly what they say you are worth and what they say you can and can't have. So you have to set your standards for yourself, and you got to know who you are, what you want, where you going, what you deserve, and what you're going to get. And when you know that you know, and you believe that, that's for you. That's for you. And that applies to life, love, and business. So, yes, there is hope because it's happening every day. Women over 35 with kids meeting men every day, getting married every day. So, you got to understand that if it can happen for somebody else, it can happen for you. What does it mean when a man lets you meet his kids, but not his other family, mom, siblings, close friends, etc.? He think his kids dumb. He think his kids dumb. He think they don't know enough. And then the other people, he don't want you to meet them because it typically, there are exceptions to the rule, but it typically means is they are in love with somebody else that he was with or that he is with, but they on a break or he got it so under wraps and under control that he got time and space and room to cheat. So it's certain stages of a relationship where we could get so complacent and comfortable that if a person want to cheat, they could cheat fully and freely. Like I'm in my relationship, my wife don't check my phone. She don't bother me when I'm on the road. She not blowing my phone up. Like she home, she locked in with our kids. They doing what they do. If you go on Instagram and you follow my wife on Instagram and you look at her stories, you see her all over the place. You'll look at my stories and see what city I'm in and what I'm doing. And you go look at her stories, you'll see she got a full itinerary. Well, we in a space in our relationship that if I was a cheater, I could have me a whole nother woman. And it wouldn't even, I wouldn't be able to introduce that woman to my mama and my sister because they know my wife. So that's typically what that be, is you really be a side woman. And the other reason is when the mama and sister are very controlling, overprotective, and he's scared of them to be bringing home a different woman. And he really should be protecting his kids more so than grown adults, more so than adults. So he really doing it the wrong way. He should be introducing you to the adults in his life before he introduces you to his kid. So that lets you know that's not really a quality man. That's not a man you should even really be focused on paying attention to. And I'll take that back because his mom and his sister could be on crack. So if his mom and his sister shot out, then their opinion don't matter and his kids' opinion matter. So that's why so I say that to say that's why I had to change that, because you got to get context. Now, if his mama is upstanding citizen, she got a job, same with his sister, like well-to-do family or good family, or just even a, cohesive family, then you got to look a little deeper and see, like, is this because he respect them and he don't want to just bring somebody in, or do I need to pay a little more attention to his time management, how much time he giving, how he talking, how he acting, and what I need to do right there. When do you think men and women will be over? I'm so sick of it. It's ruining dating and even marriages. If these are the type of men I have to choose from, I'll rather be single. Sister, we're in the last days, so I'm not sure I don't think it'll ever be over from here. But it don't mean you can't win. It don't mean you can't win your battles. But will it be over? No, it's gonna be there to a certain extent. But what's gonna happen though is God gonna raise up a remnant, And let me, boy, my wife be getting on to me about that. I get me, okay, usually small part, member, or trace remaining, a small surviving group, often used in plural. Okay, so remnant do fit right there. A small surviving group. God gonna raise up a remnant of people. Y'all hold on one second. Hello? Oh, really? W- Right. Um, well, you could park it in the street. I'm doing a live right now. You could just park it on the street and then I'll come out and move them around after this. All right. Y'all forgive me. I got my cars parked wrong, so my wife calling me to move because she didn't come back. And so it's gonna be a remnant raised up. So I had retired from speaking. Retired from doing events, but because of the idiots is raising up, now I got to come back to work. So now I got to start back doing seminars. Now I got to start back touring, going around the country, doing healthy love seminars and relationships with a vest on and with armed guards, because I'm bringing a message that the idiots don't want to hear. But so it's going to be a raising of people who got some sense. And many are called, few are chosen. Not everybody gonna enter the promised land. So what's gonna happen is the people who want to be ignorant, they're gonna weed themselves out. They're gonna stay and they're gonna be just fighting and tussling amongst each other in ignorance. And then the people who want to be happy, be healthy, be whole, gonna elevate and then find each other. So the idiots gonna be left to themselves, and those who want to do better gonna meet and mingle. And that's why you got to guard your eyes and your ears, because if the way you wrote that message, how would that look? If that message, what you wrote, was a face, if that message is a face, how you going to look when you go out in public? If that message is a face. So that's why you have to control what you can control, and you got to block those messages. You got to laugh at the idiots. You got to see their foolishness, and instead of being angry with a fool, that's why the Bible says don't argue with a fool. Because when we go to arguing with fools, now we look like a fool. And Jay-Z didn't even know he got that line from the Bible. But so when you realize that, then you like, oh, you know what? I'm letting this idiot change my countenance. I'm walking around here bitter faced. I'm walking around here mad faced. And the good person over here that I can attract, I'm repelling them because I'm letting a fool make me mad. And so you have to always check your countenance. Cindy, welcome to the Blessed Tribe. God bless you now. Nicole, God bless you. Just saying thank you for all you do. Read the books and had the mentoring. I'm divorcing. It's been 12 months separated. What's the recommendation for the next step in healing? I would say relearning. Get you a coach, mymentor.life, and just relearn. Like, get a feel of this here dating scene. Talk about the things that happen, debrief, decompress, just release, learn, and that will produce healing, so that when you go forward, you are healed and you healthy, and you're not going forward broken, jaded, hurting, and everything else. Let me see here. CC, God bless you. Now, hey, Tony, I do not have a question. I just wanted to say your book, A Woman's Influence, is transformational. Thank you and your wife. Took a deeper dive at my inner core. God bless you. Thank you for reading it. If you ain't read A Woman's Influence, make sure you grab it. I don't promote it like I should, because I still ain't paid my publisher back for it, because I don't promote it enough. So, but I'm almost there. One more royalty cycle, they'll be done paid back, because they give you advance with royalties. So I'm actually doing good, because the book just came out last year. And so for the rest of my life, it'll be rolling. I am Nivea. Welcome to the Blessed Tribe, dear sister. My boyfriend and I, Sunshine, God bless you. Now, my boyfriend and I have been together 3 years and not engaged. He provides house, cars, and is good to our child. I gave my life to God. Is there any hope in getting married? I want to be right before God. His focus is money, health, fitness, not marriage. Ooh. Sister, I'm going to tell you this right here now. Fornication is the sin. Okay. A lot of people call shacking up living together, but living together is co-ed roommates. Fornication is the sin. because some people have to live with somebody of the opposite sex just because of where they at, their environment, how they housed, or what have you. Even in some dorm rooms, it might be co-ed. So fornication is the sin. And now y'all done already been in that, and y'all done had a child, and it's kind of a consequence of life. And so a part of being an adult is we have to accept our consequences. And all we could do is help somebody else. All we could do is learn as we learn. So all we could do is say, hey, I done already put the cart before the horse. And this is what I got to live with until we can tangle and get the horses back in front of the cart. And that may not happen. So I made the choice. I was ignorant to the choices and I made the wrong choice. This is my life. Let me make the best of it. Let me make the changes that I need to make. So if you say, listen, I'm no longer comfortable, being in fornication, that may send him packing, or he may say, you know what? You are my wife. You worthy of being a wife. You my wife. I don't know. I'm holding off because of all the stuff I'm hearing online, the stuff people saying online that marriage ain't real, marriage is outdated, marriage don't benefit a man. And I guarantee you that's why he not marrying you, because it don't make sense for a man to put a baby in you, pay for the house, pay for the cars, be a good father, and not get married. So it's something he listening to. Um, Jalea or Jalea. Welcome to the Blessed Tribe now. Mr. Tony, will you start doing midweek sermons? Not sure. Not sure. I barely got the capacity to do what I'm doing now, so I don't know if I can add anything else on. And you got to realize now, when you go doing them sermons, there comes spiritual warfare. So I got to be ready. I got to be armored up. Okay. Got to be ready if I'm going to be doing midweek sermon. But I'm not really a sermon type of person. To be honest with you, every now and then I read a little scripture and talk on it, but that ain't really my strong suit. But if God give me something, I give it. But I can't make it like a process. I can't make it like a routine. Like whenever I speak on stuff like that, it have to be divinely inspired. It can't be a job for me. That's why I can't open a church. That's why I can't be a pastor, because I can't just do routine messages. It got to be dropped on me in a real way. Is it okay to ask a gentleman to get coffee in order to continue a conversation? Well, if y'all already talking, and in this day and age, it might not be a deal breaker. It might not be the end of the world. Now, it's certain men that's old fashioned, conservative, that will look at you with a side eye. Like, he gonna go now. And that don't mean that y'all ain't gonna hit it off and be together. But if men like myself, that if a woman asked me out, if I was a single man and a woman asked me out, I kind of would be a little, hold on now. If I ain't asked you out, it was a reason. So now don't you go ask me out. Cause now I can't, now you put me in a rock between a hard spot. What it called? Put me in between a rock and a hard spot. Cause if I ain't asked you out now, you see I got a mouth, you see my mouth working, I'm sitting up here conversing with you. So that's how I would take it. So that's why I tell women, don't ask no man out, because it's a man who got to get on one knee. So if the man got to get on one knee and say, will you marry me? Then the man need to first start by saying, will you go on a date with me? Then he need to be able to say, will you go on another date with me? Then he need to be able to say, will you be my girlfriend? Then he need to be able to say, will you be my wife? Then he need to be able to say, will you be the mother of my children? So the man got to be the one initiating the togetherness, because when you do it the other way around, what you see today online, women proposing to men. You see women chasing men, women shooting their shot. 9 out of 10 times, they shooting a dead dog. Meaning they getting a man that really ain't worth a whole lot when it comes to being a man that can be counted on, that could be trusted. 1 out of 1,000 now, yeah, some women gonna shoot their shot and they gonna hit it. It's somebody who win the mega ball, the mega millions every time it's available. Somebody gonna get it right. But how many people play the mega millions and how many win? You see what I'm saying? So when you look at the odds, it's like, the odds ain't too good. So yes, a woman could initiate something with a man and it work. And we see those women go viral, but we don't see that every day, and we're not seeing thousands of cases of it. So when we hear about the women who shot they shot, we could count on two hands out of hundreds of millions of people. We could count on two hands how many women that shot they shot and it turned into something worthwhile. A lot of times now, me being a coach, getting to be behind the scenes, I then get to see, oh, you shot your shot, but your husband actually liked men, but you didn't know that because you were desperate and ready. This other woman, oh, you shot your shot, but because you were so aggressive, because you throwed yourself out there and you were thirsty, that let the man know he could play you because you dehydrated. So you actually shot your shot at a dog. And so that's how it ended up working. And then 1 out of 1,000, oh wow, okay, you actually shot your shot at this man and he actually liked you and y'all hit it off and it actually worked out. But you wearing the pants and he got on the dress. He don't like men now, but he got on the dress because he was cool being pursued. But I'm trying to tell you now, the men like that I know that want to be faithful, that want to be, real in a marriage, do not like for a woman to shoot her shot. And I know that's against the grain of what's being taught today by the loud women who shot they shot. But what the women don't understand a lot of times is they don't understand men. And they don't even a lot of times know the man that they got. But telling every other woman, do what I did. Not realizing that 99% of women who follow that lead gonna end up hurt and embarrassed. So I'm telling you, the Bible say a man who finds a wife for a reason. The next scripture could have said a wife who finds a husband, but it ain't say that for a reason. So listen to me now. Sometimes just let that conversation go, and if you let it go, a lot of times that make the man want to chase you. That make the man want to, get to know you. Hi, Tony. Thanks to you and your family for giving us your time. I truly enjoy your channel. Can you come to PG County, Maryland, DC area to host a conference, please? Lord willing, now. Lord willing. I done did them up there in DC, and I like that, area. But sometimes they charge too much for y'all hotels up there, and then two, I be about to get in a wreck on y'all roads because sometimes just the road just kind of weird to me. And you be driving down a runway, driving the wrong way, and it's just kind of weird to me. And it be a little tight up there. So sometimes the area just kind of confused me. I about drove into the White House one time. I'm like, my goodness, I'm about to get shot and killed trying to navigate these roads. But I might do that when I get back on the road. I just got to figure out the time, when I could do it. Maybe in the summer I'll start touring and just doing a little small stuff. But the other thing too, inflation. The inflation is so high. These hotels, they jacking up these prices. So back when I was touring, man, you get a whole ballroom for $1,200. Now they try to tell you 20,000. And so it's a little crazy right now. So I might have to do a crowd fund for the tour. Do a crowd fund, and if you in the crowd fund for $25, then that's your ticket to the event, or how much of it have to be. Cause boy, look here, what they charging. Or I need to find like the little co-working spaces that have a room that'll seat like 100 people. But then they can't shut it down to their members. So I be in there doing a seminar and the members walking through the bike and cutting all through, slamming their door. And so it's like you kind of forced to do the hotel. and they want an arm and a leg. And then I'm gonna tell you another thing. They be lying to the black event planners. A lot of times the hotel in certain areas, the ones I like to use, they don't like to see no whole bunch of color walking in there because it throw off their vibe. So they typically be predominantly white. So when you write in, I just wrote in the one and tried to get a date. He told, oh, Tony, those dates on hold. It's like, bro, if you ain't got no money yet, then how you holding the date? If they ain't gave you no deposit, talking about we'll know like around June. I said, yeah, I already know what that is. Because he was a British man and I'm real country. So he probably think I'm a country bumpkin and dumb. So he probably thinking, man, you finna have people coming in here with hats this big and blue and yellow and red, weave and loud talking and out here snapping and smacking on bubble gum and cussing out our staff. They'll have a stereotype on you. So it make it hard for me sometimes to get a ballroom. And you literally have to have somebody of another race write in and they'll tell them a whole nother price lower. And if I got the time to get me a lawyer and sue, I do it, but I ain't got that kind of time. But that's real out here though now. It happened to you. And the time when they'll let you have it easy is when you don't know what you're doing and you're going to pay that astronomical price that they're going to charge you. Because I remember in New York, one person got quoted 20,000 and then somebody else got quoted 5,000. They quoted me 20,000, then I had somebody else write in, they quoted them 5,000. I said, boy, look here. How do I go about acquiring a business loan? Do they go off of your personal credit or business credit? Now, you got people out there teaching about the business credit and all of that, and it's individuals out there. I wouldn't pay too much money for it. But to be honest with you now, you need to get on the SBA site, sba.gov, and stay locked in, stay tapped in, because I know people that is right now getting hundreds of thousands of dollars from SBA. Now, the thing is on some of the loans, they're not accepting new applicants, but they apply back in the pandemic and then getting increases now. So in the SBA, that's a real deal now. So they help small businesses and have small business loans, and it's legitimate. And a lot of times a lot easier because I have people that literally just was able to just put in a business name, put in the idea and get some money. Sometimes they'll just do it because they got 1 million people applying. So they don't have the manpower, the woman power, the staffing to go through with a fine tooth comb, all of it. So first go to sba.gov and then from there start to look around. But you want to go to somebody backed by that government because the government got that printer. So that government ran off them 3-4 trillion, gave SBA some billions. SBA was out there making that thing rain. So all the scammers, the scammers got at least $1 billion because SBA was so loose with the money. I literally walked into the jewelry store to buy my wife some earrings. The jewelry store was full of SBA loan scammers. Men buying $25,000 watches, but had on $10 fake diamond earring for Claire's. Had a $100 camera, talking about he a photographer. $12 jeans, but buying a $25,000 iced out Cartier watch. Guys spending $250,000 on a necklace. And the streets dried up. The streets were dried up. Drug gang went on and wasn't making that kind of money. Know what it was? SBA loan. I say, wow. And then the legitimate people, we don't even go look and check because we pessimistic and thinking it ain't nothing out there for us. So listen, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Whatever you want, start Googling it. Google it and read. Click on every link on that first page and start to dig around. And anything you want to find, 9 out of 10 times, it exists. You literally could Google business grants for Black women, and you'll find websites that'll give you all kind of lists and grants that you can apply for. money that you don't have to give back. And it's those who seek shall find. And I done did that in my life over and over again. What are your thoughts on a married man that begs to just be his friend, says I stimulate his mind? He knows his limit. Great convo. Thoughts. A man like that knows that if you stimulating his mind, that he gonna stimulate your mind. And he know that if he stimulates your mind long enough, that eventually you're gonna let him stimulate your body. Because your heart will be deceived. You're going to eventually fall for this married man, and you're going to love him and you're going to trust him, and then you're going to get laid down. You're going to get laid down and plucked up. And then don't let his wife be no savage, because she going to find about you and she going to snatch wigs. And you could lose your life dealing with a married man. I'm trying to tell you. Because I'm going to tell you like this right here. If Cherie Gas can put hands on you, because of our wrestling matches and play fights, I already know she'll drag a woman from east to west. Because of my wife then gave me the business, I done felt that strength. I already know it ain't a woman but Layla Ali and Clarissa Shields that could really handle her. Looks could be deceiving now. She pretty, but when I tell you that woman is strong and aggressive, I would hate to see a everyday woman have to tussle with my wife. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I'm not gonna tell you no lie. Only MMA fighters and boxers, the only people I'd be scared for her with. But just an everyday woman, it had to be a woman who grew up fighting every day of her life. She was telling me about, this girl picking on her in school because she was light skinned and she was new to the school, and the girl thought that she was trying to take her boyfriend, and she was telling me, girl kept balling, and had to mess around and grab the girl by her head and bam her head into the wall. Girl was leaking blood. I say, man, that's right there happen when you dealing with a married man. Because I'm gonna tell you, the married man who will deal with you, he know his wife ain't cool with that. Because he know he would not be cool with his wife being best friends with no man who stimulate her mind. So you have to ask that man, would you be okay with your wife having a friend who stimulate her mind? If he say yeah, he lying through his teeth. You need to know right then to hang up the phone and run. Because there ain't a man in this world that'll say they're okay with another man stimulating his wife's mind. So if he not okay with another man stimulating his wife's mind, then what would make him feel like it's okay for him to get his mind stimulated by another woman? So when a man do that, we will only do that when we ready to cheat. That's the only time we'll do that. When we ready to cheat. When we is open to cheating and we want to ease into it. So it looked like the cheating snuck up on us. Quilla, God bless you now. What are your thoughts on a married man? Okay, that just came up. Oh, look at this here. Rod John Music. Hey, Tone, different question. What is your thoughts on metaverse? Basically, it's another form of virtual technology similar to social media. It's like they're trying to decline our humanity and real reality. Yeah, you definitely right about that. But I'm sure about to jump in there. Because wherever the people gonna be, we got to occupy the space. Because if you don't occupy the space, then the devil gonna occupy the space. So I'm gonna be in the metaverse with me a seminar hall, and so the people in there could buy a ticket, come on into the seminar, and we sitting in there virtual reality, and we having us a seminar. And because I said that, every speaker and author and coach who watching this finna start getting nails together. You got to have your money though. It costs money to get in there. The metaverse ain't free. But yeah, I felt like that too. Is we're gonna have people as zombies walking around. It's sad, but I'm gonna get in there and fight the good fight. I've been getting a lot of guys approaching me at the gym. They compliment me on my hair and workout routine, but that's it. Could I be giving off a not available vibe? No, you're not giving off a not available vibe. That's just your typical man. It's just typical man just ain't gonna just shoot no shot just right away. He got to kind of say a little something, feel your energy. And it's gonna be hard for you because you're sweating, you're tired. So you might be, oh, thank you. Thank you, I appreciate that. But if you see one that you like now, you might have to, oh, thank you. I think I really appreciate that. And so you work out here all the time? You might have to just follow up with a little question. Just cause it go ahead and drop his guards. Oh, okay, she cool, she conversational. But most of the time, a woman gonna be like, oh, okay, thank you. All right, appreciate it. And then it's like, okay, yeah, she ain't with it. She ain't with it. Till I already seen these by just putting on the screen to get a little screen time. How long I've been on here? 50 minutes. I'm about 10 more minutes. Cause my wife done made it home, so I can go ahead and talk her head off or let her talk mine off. I gotta go move these cars around. She mad at me how I parked one of the cars too far over. Why are some men bad at talking to women? Does that mean they are not interested when they are quiet on dates? Well, no, he could have halitosis. So I used to be real quiet because I had a tooth growing in. And then other time I felt like my breath was stink. So that made me real quiet. You see what I'm saying? So I say that to say we gotta consider all the angles. And then just sometimes a man might be quiet because he was on a red pill channel or alpha male strategy channel, and it said, let the woman talk. Be quiet, don't say nothing, be stoic, be solemn faced, be quiet, let her spill all the beans, let her tell her all about you. It's gonna make her weak, it's gonna make her vulnerable, and then you're gonna see everything you could do to gain control. So it's always about three sides to it. Uh, Text Coco, I see what you're saying, but we can't use that word on here on YouTube. Lakeisha, God bless you now. How can I join your Patreon? My Patreon is gotta go to my page. Put it in the chat. Gotta go to my page, and then you see the different little tiers, you know. And then it'll show you. I appreciate you for even caring, for even asking. While I was in my I cracked Ashford on medium, and he blindly made his location indefinitely to my phone. How can I stop the urge of viewing messages? Messages were disgusting. Found some stuff. Mm, my goodness. What you need to do is go back to school and go work for the FBI, where you could crack people's phone, social media legally. My goodness, sister, you done came up on you a jug. Yeah. I'm, I'm baffled. I'm flabbergasted. My goodness, you need to teach a class. Not literally, not really, but my goodness, I've never heard nothing like that. That now you got in the pad word and got it locate. It's bad for business right here though, because every man who see that I told you. See, you can't even trust these such and suches. That's what I tried to tell you. They insecure. They hacking your phones. You done gave these men all kind of content. Jasmine, what is the difference between codependence and real love? Boyfriend and I both suffer from mommy and daddy issues. So you got to go to therapy now. Got those therapy words. You know, in life coaching, we don't deal in like terminology. Those words, codependency is not a life coaching word. That's a therapist word. And so, you got to sit with a therapist and get that stuff, because I'd be the misexplain it. I could kind of think I understand it, but I may not understand the clinical definition of it. And so therapy ain't gonna cost you that much. If you got a job, your insurance might take care of it, but go in there and have you some sessions. Have you a session 2, 3, 4, 12, and talk through those things, especially with them heavy issues like that. Sheree used to the old when I'm on the old system. She posted her question 9 million times in here now. Biblically, women aren't allowed to preach or teach to extend. Does that go? To what extent does that go? Is it just talking about the gospel? I want to spread light, love, peace, and forgiveness. How, if I can I do that? Sis, you got to talk to God now. You got to talk to God. Because listen, I be saying my stuff, and then the theologian, the Bible know-it-alls on YouTube be ripping me to shred. And the Bible say, and the Bible did not change words, and he's trying to change the word of the Bible. But see, listen, you have to talk to God, and get that peace in your spirit about your ministry and your calling. And the thing about it is, a lot of women preaching, they ain't being struck down. It's a lot of women preaching, and they life is flourishing, their life is blessed, they leading people to God. So it's like you serve God in spirit and in truth, and you got to understand the context of when stuff was written. So it's like, couldn't no woman do nothing in the Bible days, but we're in a day now to where God had to raise women up because so many men done lost their mind. And just so like in the Bible, how it say, if you won't praise him, God have a rock cry out. That rock will praise God. So if the men going astray and won't do right, God ain't just finna let the world go to hell in a handbasket with gasoline draws on. He gonna raise up women. And then if the women won't accept the call, he gonna raise up children to be preaching. So it's like, listen, if you call, you call. And we can't argue with what God doing. Because we don't know how God gonna move through each and every individual. And at the end of the day, everybody got their own judgment day. So I can't tell you based on my interpretation of the word what you need to do and not do with your salvation and your purpose and your ministry and your calling, because then your blood could be on my hands, and the millions or hundreds or thousands of people you could have reached, all that's on my hands because I took and used my influence to shut you up and to sit you down because of your gender, because of something that I misinterpreted in the word. You see what I mean? So, and that's what a lot of people doing, because a lot of pastors, what you got to realize, a lot of people who talk about the Bible can't even read and comprehend. Had a D in English class, in comprehension class, but trying to be an expert of a book that was translated from a whole nother language and that come from a whole nother context. And they literally want to be an expert on it and couldn't even get through English class, reading a book that was written originally in English. But they doing it for power and for clout. And so you got to discern the spirits, and you got to understand what is your message, what's God's message to you, and what you need to do with your life. How do you reply to show you not bitter with your ex for 6 months if he is texting asking you not to hate him? He ended things, been silent since then. Is it best to just ignore? Yeah, go on about your business. Or you just text him one time, I don't hate you. Be blessed. And don't respond again. Hello, Mr. Tony. I have a question. How do I get my father to want to be in his other life? He uses that just to see me. I love him, but I have been cutting him off because I want him to change. Uh well, you got to ask yourself, is your daughter been benefiting from him seeing you? If she benefiting from him seeing you and she getting joy, it's making her life better, than you sacrificing yourself. That little bit of time, that little bit of energy, you talking to him, as long as he ain't grab you and snatching nothing off, he just talking to you, flirting, whatever, okay. But if he also talking to his daughter, spending time with her, he could just be cordial with you just so you don't put him on child support, or just so you don't ask for no increase if he on child support. Or he could just be being cordial and you taking it more, or he could be shooting a shot, but it just really could be ego, just to see if he still got it. And so you could keep politely curving him and speak truth to power in a way to where you say, listen, this really about your daughter. Like, you really need to be more focused on her than me. She needs you. I'm grown. You grown. She a child. She needs you. And just keep echoing that. Keep saying that. Keep saying that. And one day it's going to pierce his heart and he's going to realize, man, you know what? You're right. My daughter need me. You done. You gone. We over. Let me focus on her. So sometimes you got to speak truth to power, and you got to be that voice. You got to be that voice. Can you give advice on how to let go and move on from a situation? I've been trying to move on for 5 months, but I keep going back. There's a young lady I coached today who she had videos on situationships on her channel, but she a new YouTuber. But she took my YouTube for beginners course. I told her shoot 100 videos, then I put a page on the YouTube community page because she took my course. So I try to support those people who done took my courses when they go and activate on what they learn. And she had some videos on situationships. But whenever people say how to let go, how to move on, it ain't no secret sauce to it. You got to put one foot in front of the other, and you just got to do it. Like Nike send me a chat. You just got to do it. Sis, ain't no secret sauce to it. It ain't gonna be no mantra. It ain't gonna be no chant. It ain't gonna be no blah, 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 blah. Prayer help you, give you the strength. But at the end of the day, you got to take action. You got to know what's best for you. You got to know right from wrong, and you got to do what you know. Can't nobody make you do nothing. You got to be able to do it. Berticon, welcome to the Blessed Tribe. God bless you. Hey, now I said I'll be going at 1 hour. I got to get on going. Cause my wife and got on home, and I need to go out here and move these cars for her. And I need to go on here and get my little conversation in. But hey, God bless you. Thank y'all for those y'all sitting that blessing. And somebody sent me a cash app. God bless you. Really appreciate it. In the description on here, I put the link to the podcast channel. So I'm gonna be building that up. So for the release, and the podcast is different now. It's not your typical podcast. So so you're gonna have to get deep to really watch it and understand what I'm doing on there, because it's a study. It's a study. So the questions I'm asking, it's been 2 or 3 interviews that I done interviewed people and they have responded. I've never been asked that question. And that's why I'm doing a podcast, because a lot of people doing podcasts, but I don't feel like I'm getting the questions asked that I need asked. But me being a life coach for the last 15 years, all I have done is ask questions for a living. So the questions I ask, even on coaching sessions, some people be like, what does that have to do with anything? But it have a lot to do with everything. And so that's the point of this, is I'm studying people unique greatness, but we get into some roots of some things. And when you listen to it and you hear it, you're going to be like, oh, that's in me. Oh, I'm going through that. Oh, I went through that. Oh, that produced that, and I didn't even realize that. And so we're going to be going there now. Hey, so God bless you. Thank you. And remember, the code for the academy is happy 15. Ain't gonna last long. Next month I have to come up with a different one. But been trying to help, because I realized the financial situation had changed. Joe ain't giving them stimulus checks out. Oh, I ain't see the super sticker, Christine. Let me scroll through here real quick, because I got them going in order. Christine, God bless you now. I so appreciate you. Reba, welcome to the Blessed Tribe now. L. Davis, welcome to the Blessed Tribe. God bless you now. Seeing that question now. Now I'm gonna tell you my unprofessional, non-clinical definition of this here is, when you think about the maturity continuum, you have dependence, then you have independence, then you have interdependence. And in the middle of independence and interdependence, some people, a diversion would be codependence. So to be codependent, it means like you can't be apart. To me, it means you can't be apart. Like it's unhealthy, because you can't go have your friends, they can't go have their friends, or you can't have your friends, but they can have their friends, and you can't have your family and they can't have their family, and y'all isolate yourself and you become dependent on just you two, and you cut off your friends, you cut off your family, you may crucify some of your dreams and your hopes and passions, and you live in and through the person you with. And that's codependency to me. Whereas interdependent means that you two independent people who are whole, healthy, happy, but you come together and you complement one another. Not, hey, you look pretty, but meaning you add, they add, you complement each other, not like just not complete each other. And that's interdependence. And that's where you want to get to. So my wife, she said to me at some point, she said to me, I said, baby, how do it look when I'm over here doing my thing in this city and you over here and you doing your thing? She said, it look normal. She said, it look healthy. It look healthy. I said, man, I don't want to be looking like no bad father, like no bad husband, because I'm out here working on the road with the podcast. She was like, no, like that's what you supposed to do. Like that's your purpose. It look healthy. You got a life. You ain't just up under me, and vice versa. And so that's interdependence. And that's really where we want to get to. Let me get on down there per time. Got some new members tonight. Island girl, God bless you now. God bless you. Now look at here now. L sent an old message in right for the buzzer. God bless you now. L, funny topic by man in the dark today. I recently walked away from a man who wanted me to share. I probably would have settled for it had I not been listening to your videos. Just wanted to say your work is not in vain. Thank you. Hey, God bless you. And thank you for even admitting that you probably would have settled for it, because I'll be honest with you, it's probably a million women because of idiot men who saying stuff like that. And some women say stuff like that too. It's probably a million women in our country that will settle and will share a man. Well, it's a lot of women that sharing a man. And that just, it's weakness. It's weakness, meaning insecurity, ignorance, loneliness, desperation, low self-esteem. You'll never have to share nobody. Because if you can't get pregnant from two men at one time, then you should have to share no man. That mean ain't meant to be shared. Now, a man could get multiple women pregnant, but you see the women get pregnant by one man, which mean that their body ain't meant to be shared either. And the man body ain't meant to be shared in this day and age, because the world is populated. We are already fruitful. Back in the day, the man had to share because he had to populate the world. Adam had to do what he had to do. His sons and their sons and their sons, they had to populate. But now we populated. And so y'all go back, watch that video I posted earlier today. I think it's titled, Should a Woman Have to Share a Man? And it's foolishness. Now I'm gonna tell you, as a man, yeah, that's music to your ears. It's like, oh man, yeah. That music to your ears as a man, when you thinking carnally, when you thinking with your flesh, it sounds good to have multiple women. Because if this woman off on Monday, then the next woman on Monday. If this woman off on Tuesday, another one on Tuesday. So carnally and from the flesh, that'll sound good to any and every man. But when you think of it spiritually, when you think of it from a view of healthiness, building a family, setting an example for your children, it's really not healthy. It's one of the worst things in the world. Raz Bliss, God bless you now. God bless you. And to the moderators, thank you to the moderators. I'm not sure, if y'all had to delete or whatever, but thank you to the moderator that made it on here tonight. God bless you. Really appreciate you. But all right, y'all, I'm gonna get going now. God bless you, and we'll talk soon. Yeah, it's a new system on here still. I'm getting used to.